I'm not going to necessarily go into the higher timeline, the energetic, yet, because Brother Rick's just turned up, so we may well bounce that one in a bit later on. But what I wanted to do was discuss over what's happened over the last couple of weeks, at least, with regards to the lower timeline, and add some information with regards to that right now, and a couple of the precursory things for significant change in the human consciousness, in the collective consciousness. There's two key points right now. Well, money and health. They're the major aspects of most people's considerations as it stands, money and their own health. The money side of it is being pushed extremely hard by the existing system, which has collapsed. It's just floating in the belief system of the people that it's still there. So we've got the other arms. BRICS is throwing itself around saying we're going to come on board. CBDC is throwing itself around, and all of these other things are flaming, giving opportunities for people to find something to believe in. And of course, they're trusting the system still, as opposed to something else. So the money side of it is being dwindled from most, if not all of them. All of the souls on the planet are losing money, and it's becoming harder and harder and harder and harder to see how you're going to move forward in the next month and next month and next month. And then you watch the political arse-hats in the arenas throwing their sense around, telling you what they're going to do about everything else, but you. So this is all ongoing. We've seen this for quite a bit of time. The second one is the health. Now, this one's an interesting one with regards to the human consciousness, the consciousness itself, the fear aspects inside the people. It's come out now that this let's say medical intervention in the last couple of years, not just that, but in the last 150 years, has caused every disease. Pretty much every disease is caused, or dis-ease is now been linked, if not causally, to medicine and to the medical pharmaceutical industry. This is coming out in science papers, in research papers, and through thesis and theory and hypothesis from not one or two, but many of very high-ranking scientific officials, medical officials, etc., that are bringing this information to the table inside studies and inside report studies and case studies of the biomolecular, of the actual proteins, of the atomic level, atomic structure level of the human body. Some of them are able to actually say the brilliance, the God-given brilliance, the incredible nature to which the human body was made. Some of them are able to see that from the depth of the study into the molecular and how it all works. They can see the incredible nature to which it is that we are in this vessel. And they can also see from the research how the system has bypassed that and attacked the vessel from the inside out, not as well as from the outside in. So what this long story short, what this effectively means is that in the eyes of quite a few of the immunologists, the high-ranking ones that know what they're talking about, they have predicted a large-scale loss of existence, a large-scale die-off. It's not like that. It's not like that. It won't look like that, but it's predicted because of the damage that's been done to the innate system. Now, innate and reactive, two types of immune system. One, the innate, is the God-given defense system, and the reactive one works with it. Both of these have been targeted over the period of time by different therapeutical inputs or antigens, which is antigenetic. So antigens being put in, foreign bodies being put in, and this attack is attacking the body from different areas within the body. The bolus is a big thing right now, where there is a ball of antigen injected, and that ball then has to be split down into a smaller until it can become particles. In fracturing that ball, it leaves lots of other cannonballs which are fired into different parts of the body over and over and over again for them to break down, and this is causing damage over time. This is a longer term thing which has been ongoing for an awful long time. A lot of this could be seen as conspiracy theories, etc., but at this point now, this is proven, this is factual, this is actual, and this is what is being reported and being censored by the powers, the authorities that were. All of this is being pushed out of the window, and all of the people are being gaslit into believing it's everything else. I think one of the major UK newspapers put headlights on cars now. Headlights on cars, because they're so bright, they are causing heart attacks. What? Climate change and everything else is called. So everything but that. And that is the one that's coming back to bite them. One engineer actually said it's the largest industrial accident ever on the history of the planet. And the medical industry must make amends, in his words, by healing people. The medical industry must make amends for what it's done by healing people. So we're in this boat kind of where lots of things are up in the air, and this is pushing. I'd like to bring in another one as well about a certain area that's in the Middle East at the moment, which is also part of quite a few other people's conscious mindsets that is ongoing, where there is another aggressive territorial corporate battle ongoing between how do we spend money over there and destroy the people we don't want and keep power and keep the whole system running in the same go. And this is all playing out inside the Middle East. This is ongoing, and of course the people of the world are complicit because their governments are allowing it. The International Court of Justice has already signed up and said this, and this. But the International Court of Justice is also signed up to the monetary system that they are playing with. So it's all sides of the same thing. And what's going to actually have to happen is that the people are going to stand up and stop this. Now, when is that going to happen? Are we going to let this keep going on? Are we going to let this roll out and keep going further? Or are we going to step up and stop this? Are we going to join together and unite and put aside our toys, our issues, our grudges, our egos, and simply join up the dots and say this is no longer available. We cannot do this anymore. This is causing far too much harm. Do no harm is the rule. And yet, this is what we're watching ongoing. So on the lower timeline, there is an awful lot of flux. There is an awful lot of pressure. Resistance is pressure over time. And that resistance is frictional. And what we are feeling is friction on the largest scale. There is a friction on this uplift of frequency. There is a resistance to rising frequency, which is exactly what is happening on a galactic scale. The frequency is rising, yet people think they can hold it back. This is not a good look. So as this frequency rises, resistance is maintained because there is friction, pressure over time. People resist. They resist. They accept and tolerate the intolerable until it becomes intolerable and they no longer tolerate it anymore. But they haven't reached that point. They keep stretching, thinking it will go back, and it won't. This is the time to release. This is the time to snap that elastic band. Let go of that energy that was in there. Don't try it to go back to comfort. Don't try to release it back into what it was. That's a flawed geometry. It needs to go. It needs to snap. And that means that each must make that decision and must make that choice to say no more to that and choose a different path. Now, I don't wish to continue. That's 15 or 10 minutes. That's far too long for Lee to speak. But I wanted to open this, or I felt to open this one